It's funny, if I played football, I'd be like 30 pounds heavier and I'd be very functional.
Let me see your tricep. Flex it.
No, not in front of Boone.
What's up? Dude.
What up, Boone? It's been a while. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Looks
I'm in
good.
hibernation, can you tell? I wish I could do that. I wish.
This log will be a little scattered, and then excuse me if you hear just dog noises in the background. We're gonna try to get this in one shot. So recently, I lost about 3 to 4 years worth of training data. I don't want to talk about it, at least not past that. I'm still a bit sour. But I think, firstly, I'm like, wow, well, that sucks. I mean, I still have a general idea of where I want to go, what needs to be programmed next. But however, I just like to have all that stuff on hand. Like I do. And 3 to 4 years worth, that's quite a bit. So my plan going forward is to, I guess, use this log more like a formal check-in of sorts. And I guess kind of the theme will be, especially this year, since I'm most likely going to be competing, make it a kind of like a formal check-in with you guys in regards to like how I am doing physically, emotionally, how's the training going, but in a lot more detail, just go over everything that I am doing. And yeah, I trust you guys at this point to not try the majority of this stuff. I think to a large extent, much how, for example, if you saw so-and-so's macros and you tried to apply them to your situation, that might not go very well if you're following a 180-pound dude's macros and you're a 115-pound female. Obviously, this is a very bad comparison, but it kind of gives you an idea that, at this point, training specifically for mostly muscle growth, a few strength goals here and there, but also training for about 15 years now, like what I require to progress is probably a little bit different than the majority of you guys. And hopefully you guys will gain a lot from this in that you will, along the way, pick up little tricks of the trade that happen within my own structure. And also, yeah, just learn a little bit about like the strategy that goes behind getting me to where I want to be, and that's I want to be an elite natural bodybuilder. So that is where I want to go with this marching forward. I think it's going to take about a month or two to get used to it. I don't think I ever want to be like a YouTube person that carries the camera like everywhere they go, right? I hear live from grandma's funeral. No, but I do think I want to make this a whole lot more educational than it has been. And then also I look back at like my old bodybuilding.com forums. Look up Father Flex on the bodybuilding.com forums. That is where I used to like track all my training, and the community was based around training journals, and everyone would just hop on there and really help out and support each other. And I went back after I lost all that data, and I was like, oh man, like it's all here and it's there, and I need something like this for my current bodybuilding, so that I can, one day as an old man, go back and, remember the time, or even like going through the process, like be able to look back and be like, what was I doing then that worked so well? Ooh, let's bring our squat stance back to this let's maybe try this frequency on our pressing, that sort of stuff. So more data, obviously for me, the way it was before, but I think it's going to be put out in a way where it's going to help a lot of other people too. And I think when it's like in video, it's just totally different than like it just being, in some Excel spreadsheet somewhere. So that is the plan going forward. And in regards to where we're at, last 4 months of the off season, and as you guys know, it's been a hustle. It's been a hustle the last few years. And this off season, the biggest thing I've been wanting to bring up was my back for sure. But then also to some extent my arms and hamstrings. Hamstrings, I think, before arms, to be honest. And we've done some work with the back. I really like the way it looks. However, I do feel that doing X amount of back work every single week has definitely not led to me neglecting my arms. I'm still doing quite a bit relative to, like, say, other strong body parts I have, but it's just if I want to progress, I know I have to do even more direct arm work, and that is something we will start doing. But before we formally introduce what that plan is going to look like, I've been using a lot of blood flow restriction for my limbs this month, and mostly just to kind of get them ready for a lot of the progressive lifting that will take place. Good, clean progressive lifting. It's hard to stay good and clean and progressive when it comes to single joint movements, especially arms. But that is a goal, and I think to kind of get a lot of that connective tissue ready, here and there we've been giving it a few breaks, actually twice a week. I hit arms about 3 times a week, and what this is doing is helping me make it so that I really am only like lifting weights in a traditional way, once per week. So letting those things heal up so that once we feel good and this cycle is over, this monthly cycle is over, we can get started with something a bit heavier and progressive. So that's what you can expect going forward. And things like this, like for example, like my general warm-up routine. This is something that I did throughout pretty much my whole 2014 contest prep, and something that I kind of shied away from, but after spending a week with Bryce in the Dominican Republic, it got me back into these complexes to warm up. I love them. It's a great way to get your heart rate up, to bring up your body temp, but then also it takes you through most likely a few planes that you will be partaking in on that day. Please don't laugh at my quote-unquote clean here. So this is how we kick things off, and then after that I'll get into a few other types of dynamic stretches, and then certain movements to, for example, wake up my rotator cuff, and then if there's anything that's extra tight that day, I'll get to work on that. But usually I try to make sure that stuff's taken care of before I actually set foot in the gym, so that I can do my bare minimum prior to training, my bare minimum priming for the session, because I'm there to lift weights, and I come in like really motivated and pumped to get started. So even to slow myself down and do this and be consistent with this is quite a challenge, but we know that it's good for us, right? Like salads and fruits and vegetables, right? We eat them because they're good for us. Although you do start to like them after a while, right? But this is probably why this is in place, because I actually do enjoy doing my barbell complexes prior to training, so they're easy for me to stomach. What else has changed? So here we go. This is a big one. I think exercise order has changed quite a bit over the last month. I've been experimenting a little bit more with hitting body parts in an order that I guess wouldn't be necessarily traditional. That was my warm-up set, by the way, acclimation set. That's why we only hit it for a few reps. This was actual working. But so for example, on an upper body day, typically I will do my pressing first, because it is one of my few movements that I am programming more like a powerlifter in regards to, I just have general interest in getting stronger on that lift, should I ever powerlift again. And then also, because you need your back musculature to support your pressing. But of late, what I've been doing is I've been swapping things around and letting the body parts that need the most love go first. So on this day in particular, I did all of my rowing and my pulling prior to the bench pressing. And so far so good. If anything, the bench, just because I'm in tune with those muscles, and for the most part their job is to just kind of stand still, like don't move. Doing the back work prior has left me fatigued in a good way. So I think I will continue doing this, doing my big back movements first, early in the training session when I'm like most energized, I am most focused, and then the rest of the day basically we'll just throw in the body parts from the weakest ones go first, and then the ones that don't need quite as much love will go last. So on most days I will probably end with direct delt work, but I will start it with direct back work. So that's the plan going forward. I don't think I've ever I've never done anything like this where the order of my exercises in a day revolve around what is in most need. And I think it's very practical to do with both the upper lower type of body part splits, and then also full body splits. Should I ever get back to that, which, at this point I'm kind of craving that full body feeling once again. I love going in there and moving all joints. So I did the pull down, neutral grip pull down, and then I did the DY row. And over the last few weeks, I've actually been using a grip that has been on my pull downs, and in my pull downs, and obviously this on the DY row where you're underhand, where there's just a little bit more direct bicep love. You can lift a bit more weight, obviously, but I also feel like it gives the biceps a little head start early in the training session. I absolutely love this machine, by the way. This one and the Hammer Strength High Row are like two must-haves for me if I ever have my own setup. But yeah, I love the Hammer Strength line in general. One thing about them is they're just, the upkeep is so simple relative to a lot of other machines. I'm sure you guys have noticed this, but like you go to any gym with enough people, every once in a while you just hit these streaks where a few cables are torn apart here and there, and you're waiting on this machine to get better. With the Hammer Strength stuff, usually it's like a super quick fix. Well, at least it seems that way. And looking at it, I suppose that's how it is. But yeah, so Hammer Strength DY rows on this day. I was actually supposed to pen lay, but all the bars were taken up today, and I had to be pliable because I needed to be somewhere later that evening. But we will get into that. The pen lay rows are also going to come back for the remainder of this off season, I feel. But yeah, back work to start, and then eventually we go off and we do our bench pressing. The bench pressing, it was feeling really good, and then recently, what it's done is it's kind of just I've hit a wall. But I think it's just fatigue from all the pressing that I have been doing. I do think this week will turn out a little bit better, as in I have a lot of my volume days are kind of trimmed down, and then finally when I get to my strength day, it's a little ambitious, but it should go well. I think I have 285s for like 6 sets at 3 or something like that. So yeah, that's been what's up of late. Just reprioritizing certain things. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing that, but that's kind of how it goes. I think the main difference between a super advanced bodybuilder and, let's just say, a high-level intermediate to early advanced bodybuilder, I don't think the volume is going to be that different. I think the biggest thing is going to be that you really can't, you're going to have a hard time improving everything at once. And I really love the predictability of basically becoming a two-part builder almost, and really focusing on those two things and letting everything else kind of sort of cruise at about maintenance when it comes to the overall volume that you train it with. So I think it's a hard process to trust, to like get off the gas a bit especially in the body parts. Obviously, if they're good body parts, chances are you probably enjoy training them a little bit. That just is instinctively hard. But I think once you go through a few cycles where you see clear improvement in body parts that for the longest time have just been slacking, that in itself, especially once you get to close to a decade of training, and you regain command of your body via a specialization cycle, you become about it for sure. So yeah, that is I guess that is I wouldn't say my promise to you guys going forward. It's more so like a promise to me. I really want to be able to look back and say that, oh man, like these are look back and be able to look at my training journals, like the way I was, going through my own personal Excel sheets and maybe even making decisions based off like what the data shows, the video entries here. And then also I think for you guys, it would just be educational. I really do think that's a huge one, is like being able to put something out there that I am proud of, and hopefully in years I can look back and I'm kind of cringing at, because that chances are by then I will be doing things slightly differently. And yeah, I think every year pretty much you can look back and be like, wow, I really I thought that. So yeah, that's what you guys have to look forward to, is just something a bit more comprehensive, clear, and organized. I'm actually going to start videotaping right after this and going over a few things that I do here at home to get myself ready for the gym. Outside of like just the fact that I am anxious to make this a very very solid year in regards to training, in regards to my competition season. Obviously, as some of you guys might know, I've been trying to chase that 400-pound front squat for a while now, and man, has it just been it's been quite the adventure. And I think streaks where I've decided to abandon it, they just haven't been good enough reasons other than me just getting frustrated. So right now, this is probably the closest we've been. We tested out recently at about 365 with a tiny bit in the tank, I feel. I kind of, I lost my, there was a few glitches in the technique there. So I think on a good day, it could be 375 strong now. But yeah, this is probably the one lower body goal that I have set for me this off season, is to, bring up my, my front squat close to the 400s, possibly break 400, and then do it again like during prep at a super skinny body weight. So yeah, that is I guess my story for now. What I'm going to do is I will commit to having something for you guys. My week usually ends on Friday, so Friday night, sit here, put my journal together, my report to you guys, and then have it up Monday morning. We'll say like Monday at 9 or something. So that's what we'll go with. Mondays at 9, tune in. Should we even change the name of this journal? I don't know. But I still want to be elite, but it being a competitive season, I don't know. I just feel like it needs a little something extra, a rebirth, if you will, right at this point. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. And again, thank you for all the patience, constant support. Yeah, just look forward to contributing to in a more impactful way. So yeah, that is what we have this week. Just I guess, new year, new me, and new me. Yeah, definitely like new me. We're definitely going to hopefully be in a completely different place competitively by the end of this year. So I will peace out for now. If you guys have any suggestions about things that you guys would like to see included in this journal, like even if you feel like it's a little off topic, definitely let me know, and I'd be more than happy to do my best to put that on there if I feel it's generally something that will contribute to, even if it's just a few. So yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys. Please don't laugh at the hip hinge. That's also another new movement we're trying to throw back in.